this platform so that we can learn from each other and grow together. Wow, on the floor here we have Mr. Soma, someone that I respected a lot in the real estate industry. For the last 20 to 30 years, Mr. Soma has put in a lot of time, effort to elevate and raise the standard of the professionalism of the real estate industry. And today, Mr. Soma is a CEO of Malaysia Institute of Estate Agents, and he contributes a lot to the real estate industry. Let's give Mr. Soma a round of applause. If you are not a MIEA member yet, please sign up today. Good afternoon, everyone. How's everyone doing today? Wow, very low energy, very low energy. Many years ago, I meet my clients. So an agent called these clients. Hello, I'm property agent. Do you want to sell your property? Well, my client get very pissed off because it's in the morning. Then this is how he answer. Because he's Chinese speaking, I speak in the Cantonese first. 你講嘢愛死咁樣，點樣做生意嘅？點樣做 sales？ You are wasting a lot of my time. He hang up the phone. So the first lesson, if you want to be successful in this real estate industry, high energy sales. You must have high energy. How's everyone doing today? Very good. So just now during the networking session outside, so I spoke to a few participants. So many of you are saying that it's not easy to get a buyers today. It's not easy to get a sales. We do a lot of this marketing, yet no leads turn out. Market is very slow. Even though the purchaser put out a deposit, but sometimes it's not easy to get a bank loan. So don't worry, you are not alone. 90% of the people I met or recently, they share the same thing. Being developers always tell me, hey, it's a good time to launch now. How to get a buyers, I still have a lot of balance units. From time to time, owner also message me, hey, how come there's no viewing recently? Why is so slow? Your agent is not working. Can you get your team member to work hard? Buyers also the same thing. Buyer will say, hey, now it's a good time to buy. Probably now government say all the developer need to reduce the price. Probably I wait for a while for the price to reduce. These are the things we are facing now. So today I'm here to share with you in this kind of market condition, how can we improve our sales? But before I start, I want to share with you a story of a very successful, well-known developer. I like to talk to him. Today he's about 70 years old. He didn't go to very high education. He grew up from very poor family. So at his very young age, he's a Tan Sri now, I call it Tan Sri. So every time I see him, he's always ask me, how's the market, how's the sales? And the same answer I will give him, market not so good. Because this is to justify why we are not doing well in his project. So this I always answer him. So one day he called me for the meeting. He said, young man, let me share with you one story. Let me show you one of these stories. He said, I didn't go to my education is not very high. At very young age, I was a salesperson. So he was selling these small little gift item like flowers, the teddy bear, the toys. So during 60 and 70, the cinema is quite popular. Mr. Soma, is that correct? 60 and 70, because they don't have big shopping mall, they don't have a lot of things, entertainments. So usually people go to the cinema for entertainment. And selling this small little gift item, cinema probably is the best target market, right? This is people who the time can afford for cinema. Probably they also can afford to buy all these small little items. So Tan Sri and his colleague always stationed at the cinema, always wait over there, because this is a pool of clients. So every time after the movie ends, and then the crowd will rush out. And he and his colleague will quickly go to approach the crowd. Sometimes if they're lucky, they get the sales. Sometimes if they're not lucky, then no sales. It's not very consistent. Most of the time they fail. Most of the time they fail. The main challenge here is that, you see, when the crowd come out from cinema, you only have 10 to 20 minutes to approach the client and to sell them the items. Okay? If you miss out, if you approach the wrong clients, wrong target, that it is gone. So Tan Sri said, I cannot do this same thing and again and expect the different result. So in this round, he do it differently. So when the crowd come out, you see everyone is rushing, come out from the cinema. So he will start to observe. And then his colleague will rush because they don't want to miss out the opportunity. They will rush to approach the client, to engage with them and try to sell them something. Tan Sri will start to observe. He knows that, hey, if I want to sell this flower or teddy bear thing or these small toy things, the high chance probably the couple will buy, right? Correct or not? But 60 to 70% of the couple, 60 to 70% of the people who go cinema are also couple. But if I target on the wrong couple, probably I cannot get the sales also. So then I asked him, what do you do? How do you identify which couple have higher success rate? So he will observe. He will observe whether the guy walk in the front or the lady walk in the front. Wow. This is something special, right? What make a difference whether the guy walk in the front or lady walk in the front? So if the guy walk in the front, the lady follow. There's been probably their husband and wife for some years. There's no more spark, right? So if you approach people like this to ask them to buy a gift of flower, as a man you know lah, after you're married, after you successfully get a wife, the chances you buy is very slim, not to say, except Mr. Soma. If you approach people like Mr. Soma, you still get the sales. But if you approach people like me, high chance you cannot get the sales. So he will always look for the lady who walk in the front. You see, lady in the front, the guy follow. There's even not success yet. He's still going after. So as a guy, as an ego, you know, like sometimes when the people approach you to impress a lady, you will buy something. So his success rate is very, very, very high. So the story that I want to share, the reason I want to share with this story is you just have to think out of the box in your approach and target the right client, and you can successfully convert into sales. And same thing with our property market today, and I want to relate it to this photo. Today's property market is like this. A lot of supplies, very busy, very cluttered. A lot of developers will come up with a lot of packages to attract buyers to come to them. So everyone try to shout, hey, buy me, buy me, buy me. A lot of supply also from the owners. There are a lot of agents in this area as well. Purchasers also confused which product to buy. This is the current market scenario. Same thing like when the crowd, the Tan Sri story, when the crowd come out from the movie theater. If you cannot break through the clutter, even though they know there's a transaction there, you cannot close the deal. Because the colleague also rushed to the crowd. Same crowd selling same item, why somebody cannot sell? Certain people can sell. Because they break through the clutter, they target on the right market. So the key is, how do we stand out in this market condition? If you stand out, how do we stand out in this market condition? So that people can know you, so that you see clearer who are your potential buyers out there. What is the most important asset agent have? What is the most important asset? Anyone? Maybe the lady here? Yeah. Communication skill? I think To me, the most important asset is our database, our existing clientele. You see, every day, we are going out there to meet clients. So, every day we are collecting a lot of data. But if you don't know how to manage all this data, it's just a number. You cannot generate revenue from the database that you have. So I think for agents, if you want to be good or you want to have consistent sales, you need to manage the database. Around 40 to 50% of my sales came from referrals because they remember me. So how do I do that? So there's a technique of I save the numbers, okay? Okay, but before I go to the part, a bit of my history, I started this industry about 14 years ago. Before I worked as a negotiator, I was running a cafe in Taman Tun, but I failed in the business. So I lost a few $100,000. No choice, I had to join this industry because this industry is easier to start with. You only need a little capital and then you can start a business. So traditionally, in all agencies, we were trained that listing is the king. Listing is very important. If you have a lot of listing, definitely you have the sales. So I work very hard. Every day, at the time I stay in Sungai Long, my office is in Damansara Perdana. Every day without fail, I was one of the earliest to be in the office. So when I go to the office, I will try to call the for sale by owner to get as many listings as possible. I have listing all over the place. I have listing in Sungai Long, I have listing in Taman Tun, I have listing in Bandar Utama, I have listing in everywhere. All sorts of listing, from family link houses, bungalows, factories, apartment, condominium. I work extremely hard that year. Guess what? How much do I earn that year? I only managed to make about 15,000. That time I was sharing with the company is about 40% when we first started. So take back home 1 year, I only get about 5,000 plus. So if not even enough to cover my petrol or toll. But I realized one thing. I cannot be running like a headless chicken. I need to be a specialist. I need to start to farm an area. So second year, I start to farm in Desa Park City. Second year, my sales start to get a little bit better. I did about 100,000. Third year is 500,000, and it continued to move up to $1 million. So later, I want to share with you how can I make 1 year from 15,000 to become a $1 million producer. Okay. At the same time, I also noticed that, hey, some of my colleagues, after a few years in the industry, and then they start to leave. To me, this industry is very easy. The longer you're in this industry, the easier it becomes. But how come these people, they don't have any referral? How come it's getting tougher and tougher? I realized that every year they need to start all over again. This year, every year they need to build new business. So some of the senior, they cannot catch up with the chain. They're still using the old way, not using property guru to market, they get into the trouble, right? So if they are using property guru to market, then they're still okay. Some don't save their database. Some don't know how to manage their database. So that is a main problem. So in my phone now, I think today we have a very powerful gadget. I have about 5,000 contacts in this my phone. So imagine if just 1% of people refer the case to me, 1 year I just 50. I don't have to do a lot of marketing. I just want to make sure 1% of people refer case to me. So our goal here is very simple. Every day you go to meet our client, make sure they save the number, make sure you you interact and communicate with the person. Make sure they remember you. 1 month you're 30, 1 year you're 300, 5 years you're 1,005. If 1% refer or repeat to buy the property from you, 1 year you're 10 to 15. Today's property price is not very cheap. The area that I focus easily 1 million. Let's say like you have 15 cases, 15 million. If 2% of the fee is only 300,000. So even though in this kind of market condition, you still can do that. So how I managed to do this? So if you have 5,000 numbers, you don't save them, you don't communicate with them, it's just a number sitting there. He cannot generate sales. So how do you manage your clientele? So this is a phone saving method that I use over the years, and I improvise from there. So for example, if a client call me for ICT, okay, his inquiry about 500 square feet, I put down, I will save this number. A stand for buyers. ICT, Mr. Ahmad, 2016, he called me, January 16. He's a Malay, inquiry about 500 square feet. So the important information must be in the front. If you save the name at the back, then you get to the problem when the client call you, you need to wait for the name to come up, right? You must save the important. So you must continue to update all these, his client profile, okay? For example, this one is Surya resident, 2015, Malay, 2 kids, inquiring for 2 rooms. So B for agent, C for owner. You can use all your whatever things. C, Kasaman 25, Mr. Wong, 2014, September 01. So if the client have buy a few property from me, so I will upgrade them to become an investor. Okay, VIP, he's always looking for shop and commercial. D is for lawyer. So the reason you want to put all this in is for your future filtering system. Imagine, because I put Malay, Chinese, all this not because I'm racist. Because Malaysia is multicultural. My phone has 5,000. If Hari Raya, I cannot simply send to everyone, right? I only can select, okay, all the Malay because they celebrate Hari Raya. So it's easier for me to send out the greeting card to them. It make your job very simple. If 5,000, I need to scroll up one by one, it probably take me a few days to do that. So this one is easy for you. Today, if I have come across any good properties, what do? I just key in VIP, my investor, and then the list will come up. Then I just forward whatever messages, the information to them. So the chances you close is very high. Not only that, during the festive season, who should I take care first? I have 5,000, I cannot go every houses. The VIP, the investor, I take down. If you don't recover this way, somehow you'll miss out. Okay? Second thing is that I do, every time after the viewing, I will record down everything about this person. Okay? This person called me in, this person is 1 Central Park, Unit 2-2, Anson Chew, called me in 2016. So in 2016, he inquired, there's supposed to be condo, budget 1.5 million. Minimum 3 room, prefer high floor, speak Mandarin with 2 kids, Sam, Ben, go to the international school, wife is Katie, right? BMW 3 Series, the number is 2, stay in DTDI. I show website 2, everything, every single detail and chronological I will record down. Imagine 2 years later, if somebody call you, hey, Anson, how's your wife? How's your children, Ben and Sam? How are they doing? Do you think you impress a person? Do you think people remember you? You see, our objective as an agent is to make sure people like you and trust you. If people like you and trust you, they only will deal with you. So I will record out everything, I will continue. If I meet out second round, third round, I will continue to record down. Third, how do you make sure people save your number? That is very important also, right? So I will prepare a e-business card. Of course, okay, just now before this, And also, every time you take the business card, take the photo and save it as a profile photo, and then you can throw the business card away. Because it's here. You can always remember that. Because sometimes business card we don't keep. Most of the time we throw. In this format, in this method, it's very easy. You just take the photo and put it under the profile. Third, I will create a e-business card. Okay, my name, one line, Wong Long Cornerstone. Put a nice photo here. Don't put Ferrari. Don't put other things because people cannot remember. Okay, and put all my detail, my mobile number, my fax number, my work number, my email number, my address. So every time after meeting with the clients or during the meeting, I will send the e-business card to them. Hey, Mr. Soma, do you receive my message? I just send you my e-business card. So if Mr. Soma shows, I say, hey, can you save my number, please? So the chances they save your number is higher. Why you must make sure they save your number. Later I will show you why it's so important. Third, this is some of the sample like a filtering. If you have more criteria here, it's easier for your filtering. So if I just key in VIP or investor, everything come out. I think today the phone is very powerful. Third, because to manage a large amount of the database is not easy. Okay? So not only I save in here, after I save in here, I also transfer everything to my Excel, or for those companies who have CRM, you can transfer to your CRM system. So third one is a broadcast list. You know, if you go to the WhatsApp, on the left-hand side corner on the top, you can see this broadcast list. So you need to create broadcast. Because if you have a database, if you don't interact and communicate with them, no people will remember you. So in order to make sure people remember you, so that they can refer cases to you, they can refer business to you, you must always interact and communicate with the clients. So I create this broadcast group. So every group you can put in about 200 to 300 people inside. So from this broadcast group, then I will start to send them like greeting card, or if I have any projects, I will send them the project information if I have any good projects. If I have any good restaurant to visit, I also will send to them. Good place to visit, you also send to them. Any market updates, what is the latest bank interest rate, what is the latest promotion by Property Guru, everything you just send to them so that people can remember you. When we receive this message, it's like a personal one. It's not like in the group, they won't see in the group. It's like a personal message. But the thing is like this, if they don't save your number, they cannot see. So you must make sure all the clients save your number. So what you can do is, so I will send everything. So when I send out this, I close 5 deals. Just simple as that. Just existing database. I don't have to do a lot of marketing. Send this, 5 deals. So sometimes sample, greeting card, everything. So when you can go in to click on the info, with the message you click in, you can check on the info whether this person read your message or not. For those person read your message, that means they save your number. If those person didn't read your message, that means they haven't saved your number. You still have to continue to communicate with the person. So if you can do this, this business is very simple. If you continue to build database, every year 300, second year 600, over the time, you get a lot of referrals. Referrals is the most easier to work with, right? You see, recently a client texted me, Mr. Wong, I want to buy this factory next to my unit. I know the owner. Can you help to handle? 8 over million, done. It's as simple, because they tell me why the client want to refer their business, because from time to time, we are very close. Sometimes if any good property, I will recommend to him. Our rapport, our relationship is very strong. We should be a relational agent, not transactional. We build lifelong clients. Okay. So yesterday, I just received another message, a voice message. Hey, I'm looking for a mansion house. Can you, if you have any good buy, please recommend to me. So if you continue to do this, from time to time you communicate, very often, not to time to time, from very often you communicate, people will remember you. Once people remember you, they will start to refer cases to you. Imagine if your people referral is increased 2%, 3%, without doing anything, your business is growing. So I think in any market condition, if you do the fundamental right, despite any market condition, you still can get a lot of businesses. The thing is, sometimes we don't do the fundamental things right. Okay, another thing is effective business unit. So today's market, we have primary market and secondary market, sub-sales. Okay, let's talk about the sub-sales. Sub-sale, what do the agent do? Jasper, sub-sale, what do the agent do? What is the first thing they do? Get listing, okay? After you get listing, what do you do? Sorry? Get listing, inspection, okay, inspection. After that, marketing. What else do you do? After marketing, probably if you advertise in Property Guru, people probably you get some calls coming in. When you call coming in, then you screen through, you qualify them. Then you show them, you do some presentation, you show them houses. After that, what do you do? If the person offer, then you negotiate for secondary market. Then they put out deposit. After that, you follow up with the loan, lawyers, and take down the inventory list, everything. It's a long process. It's a long process. You see, to do this alone is not easy. And 80% of our time, we are focusing getting the preparation done. But where do we get the revenue? We only get the revenue when we close a case, when we collect check. But we were trained to spend 80% of our time to do the preparation, to get the listing. Is it important? Important. To meet up with the owner, to get the keys. But all these are just preparation work. It's like selling cars. If you put the car in a showroom, they only get the sales upon the salesperson receives a check. But 80% of the time of the agent, we are spending getting the car to the showroom, getting the inventory ready, because we don't have products. I feel that there is, but until we don't have time to do marketing, we don't have time to build rapport with the client, we don't have time to convert them into our customers. So I think also in the market, everyone have different strengths and weaknesses. Okay? So in Cornerstone, we break down to this. Okay, we have the listing. I think once you get a listing, you do reaching out. You must reach out to the right target audience. And in today's market, it's all about marketing. Reaching out, you have online and offline, right? Online, what do you do? Online, you advertise property portal, you advertise in the social media, in the blog, and a lot of things. But in whatever channel that you are doing, you make sure you are better than your competitors. Because it's a winner-win-all games. No, second place, you don't get any pay. Right? Only the one who closed the deal, you get paid. So whatever activity that you do, you make sure you are better than your competitors. Otherwise, don't waste the time, don't do it. So, the one is engage. Once you do the marketing, then the salesperson will engage with the client, okay, and subsequently convert to sales. This is a 4-step, basically what agents do. So in Cornerstone, all the preparation work, everything done is through listing department. We have one department just focusing in getting listing. We have one department just focusing in getting marketing done. You see, today marketing costs also very expensive. If you get a small account in Property Guru, I don't think your advertisement can be noticed. Right? Even though the client is out there, if your advertisement cannot be noticed, there's been no sales. So you must reach out to the target audience. Otherwise, no point. So Cornerstone, we pull the resources together. We have the centralized marketing activities. We make sure we get the biggest account. We just signed one big account with Sheldon. Hopefully, he can give us more discount or more credits. So we also have department, the buyer department, the agent who focus on engage with the client, building relationship with them, and convert them into sales. So we have the specialists to take care of every single department. That's why we can be very consistent over the last 10 years in Desa Park City. I think our market share in Desa Park City is more than 50%. And now we are expanding to other territory by using the same model. And how this apply to you? So I think working as a Lone Ranger is very difficult in this market condition. If you don't have enough listing, you cannot compete. If you don't do a lot of marketing, you also cannot compete. So I will suggest the team member, the negotiators should work together as a team. Maybe one focus in getting listing, one focus in, if those who are good in marketing, focus in marketing, one focus in so that you can work as a team. By doing this, you can see your productivity is going up. Okay. So many people, like I said, might perceive the market is slow, there is no transaction. But in reality, I want to show you this figure. In 2017, there is about 311,824 transactions. Mr. Soma, how many registered negotiators we have in the market? How many?
Working now
18,000. If you divide it by 18,000, let's say like 30% or 40% sell by developer, you still can get about 200,000 transactions a year by negotiator. Divided by 18,000, averagely you should be able to get 10 transactions a year. But how come we are not selling? But this is not including this is only the sales transaction, not including renter. Probably with renter, probably you have 1 million transactions out there in a year. So it's enough for everyone to share. It's really enough for everyone to share. So let's look at the property value. Property value, 139 million or 139,000 million. That means 139 billion. Take the conservative figure, 2%. 2.7 billion commission out there. Some developer pay more than 2%. The figure should be higher. So 2.7 billions of commission out there, I think it's enough for everyone to share. Minimum 100,000, I think, for everyone to share. So I think it's a mindset. If you think market is not good, then it's not good. If you think market is good, you definitely can make it. I think the key here is, go back to the same photo. The key here is, in this noisy, busy market, how do you break through the clutter? How do you stand out? So if you can stand out, you still can get a lot of business. What I share with you is not something like very high-tech. very bombastic. It's just doing the simple fundamental thing, but do it right. If you want to grow your business in any market condition, whether good or bad time, market is good doesn't mean you are doing good. Market is bad doesn't mean you are doing bad. If you can do the fundamentally right, I think first thing is high energy. Second thing, we must be a specialist. Okay? Third, you need to think out of the box. In whatever marketing activity that you do, make sure you do it better than your competitors. I think all of us here are capable to do bigger things. See you at the top. Thank you very much.